agents, those are just the people that we know about. There are so many open holes in this border, Congresswoman Kim, that this is times 3, times 10. Name it, we don't really know.
So Jennifer, you talked about some of the statistics, but I'm going to share with you what's happening right here in Orange County. I was talking to the Orange County Sheriff Barnes in his office. Just in Orange County alone, we have apprehended 200, no, actually, that was last week, 205 pounds of fentanyl was seized. But as of yesterday, they were telling me 300 pounds of fentanyl were seized, and we have over 145,000 pills that contain fentanyl. These are coming over through our southern border, through California-Mexico border. This is a crisis we need to address. In short time I've been in office, I've been down to the border 3 times. And I've talked to the border agents. I have seen the crisis, and we are coming up with a solution because federal law says we have to have a northern border strategy, but we have 0 border strategy. So I have introduced comprehensive southern border strategy to deal with this, to talk about what crisis we have at our southern borders, what mile-by-mile strategy we need to talk about this. Now, in the Del Rio sector of Texas, the border that I visited in March of this year alone, they have apprehended a lot of migrants, drug traffickers, and they seized pounds and pounds of fentanyl and other the drugs. But you know what? 10% of those illicit activities were apprehended because we have what is called the AST tower. That's the automated surveillance tower. They're using it as a pilot program in Del Rio sector. So we know there are tools, resources that are available, but this administration, Department of Homeland Security, Secretary Mayorkas have yet to implement what is working for us. So my legislation will tell us the list of the tools and resources that we currently have, what is actually needed, what are the costs, and what is the justification of putting those in our southern borders. So our president, our border czar, so-called, Kamala Harris, have yet to go down to the border when your freshman working so hard on your behalf is already gone down to the border 3 times. I invite them to go down to the border, see for themselves, and acknowledge and admit that we have crisis at the border, because this president, under his watch, we have crisis after crisis. Border crisis is not the only thing. We have inflation, we have economy, we have energy crisis. There are so many crises we need to address, and I'm working hard on your behalf to address them.
So let's dig in a little bit further to what you think we need at the border, because when you talk about the president, and again, we are open to all political points of view here. I really don't think immigration should be a political issue. Unfortunately, it turns into one. We have, as a nation, seemed more concerned with the sovereignty of Ukraine, which is very important, but more concerned with them than our own borders. So what needs to be done? They're obviously not doing it. We have kids and women who are being victimized, and it's almost being incentivized by the federal government. As part of your plan, obviously some research, obviously sending teams out to do investigations, but what is, just in your mind, what do you think from being there needs to be done?
Well, we need to reinstate the policies that have worked under previous administration. President Trump has had the Migration Protection Program, also known as Remain in Mexico policy. We need to make sure that is reinstated, because that has helped the migrants who wants to come to the United States legally to remain in Mexico while their paperwork is processed. We also need to make sure Title 42 remains in place. Now, even the court said we need Title 42. Biden administration is trying to fight that in court and trying to appeal that. We need to reinstate the policies that have worked. We need to make sure that we bring some common sense solutions. Again, as you mentioned, Jennifer, the border crisis that we're seeing, we need to talk about human trafficking issues, the drug cartels. They're the only ones that is benefiting from this, so we need to do everything we can to secure our border. Mile by mile strategy is needed, because what we need in some parts of the southern border, we may need to rebuild and finish that wall. In other parts of the southern southern border, we may need to enhance and bring more resources so we can hire more Border Patrol agents so that they don't just become a caretakers. They need to be out on the border, really apprehend those illegal drug cartels, human traffickers, and we need to make sure that we secure that border because securing the border is our national security issues.
You know, one of the things that I learned here, Congresswoman Young Kim is here. She represents California's 39th Congressional District, running for re-election in California's 40th Congressional District. One easy step would be to listen to the Border Patrol. It seems that no one's really listening to them, no one's talking to them. I can remember years ago on this very program, we talked to a Border Patrol agent who said there's toxic sludge coming across the border from Mexico to California that's eating through the boots of the Border Patrol workers. And they were trying to get a meeting with Dianne Feinstein and other members of Congress and the Senate. They weren't able to do it. That could be step one, is just listening to the needs of the Border Patrol agents.
We need to be out there actually talking to the borders and meeting with them and see and hear directly from the frontline workers. They don't need to come and try to beg for a meeting with our elected officials. We should be out there talking to them. This is why I was able to identify the crisis. This is why I introduced the comprehensive southern border strategy when we have zero strategy. And this Biden administration is trying to do away with Title 42. They're trying to do away with the Migration Protection Program. We need to reinstate all of those programs that have worked.
How about this? A big round of applause for Representative Young Kim, who is doing a great job. I want you to have the opportunity to give people the places where they can connect with you and get more information about that program and all of your platform.
Go to my website, youngkimforcongress.com. Follow me on social media at Rep Young Kim. Young Kim for Congress, Young Kim CA, Rep Young Kim. However you do it, follow me. Help me. Vote for Young Kim on Tuesday, June 7th. Every vote counts. Don't ever let your vote go to waste. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Big round of applause for Congresswoman Young Kim. As we continue, we've got Attorney General candidates in the House. Nathan Hochman, Eric Early will join us. It's Meet the Candidates in for Mark Levin and Officer Brandon Tatum. As our event continues on AM 870, AM 590, The Answer.
Well, you're looking at a very busy ride moving through Hollywood. Southbound side of the 101 loading up at Hollywood Boulevard. Expect plenty of company ahead to the downtown stretch as you make your way down to the 10. Speaking of the 10, if you're heading out of Santa Monica, eastbound side of the 10 bunches up at 20th Street. That's bumper to bumper out toward the 5. Good news in Monrovia, 210 west before Huntington Drive. Got a fender bender out of lanes here, so all lanes are open, but your ride's still very busy from Buena Vista Street. I'm Ryan Duggan, AM 870, The Answer.
The man who shot President Reagan is being granted full freedom. A judge today freed John Hinckley, who's now 67, from all remaining restrictive conditions. Hinckley shot Reagan in 1981 and was sentenced to a mental hospital for more than 2 decades after a jury found him not guilty by reason of insanity. Since 2016, he's lived with his mother under court supervision. Today, stricter watering rules kick in for LADWP customers. Watering will be limited to 2 days a week and banned between 9 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. And if you're caught disregarding the ordinance,
hello.
Hi.
Okay. And that one works.
You
Want to try yours, Larry?
The Virginia jury has found mostly in favor of Johnny Depp in his defamation trial against his former wife, Amber Heard. The jury today awarded Depp $15 million, Heard $2 million in her countersuit. The LA City Council today banned the sale of flavored tobacco with an exception for hookah lounges under certain conditions. Councilman Mike Fewer said the ruling has the potential to be life-saving, adding that more than 3.5 million kids use e-cigarettes, which he called the gateway to regular cigarettes. South End weather, mostly sunny, highs in the 80s. It's currently 70 in Inglewood, 72 in Brea. I'm Hetty Lynn Hurdes with breaking news and talk you can trust. AM 870, The Answer.
Hi friends, this is Katie Pavlich from townhall.com. The liberal media and big tech are working overtime to promote the left's anti-American agenda, to silence me and the reporters on our team at Town Hall. We must bring the truth to the American people, free from the spin of big media and the censorship of big tech companies. Town Hall covers the news that matters, exposing the COVID lies, the leftist rot and crime surge in our cities, the illegal alien crisis at our southern border, and all of Joe Biden's unconstitutional overreach, including
Ladies and gentlemen, can I introduce to you two candidates running against Rob Bonta? That's where you
visit townhall.com.
We gotta do it like this.
Nathan Hochman is here and Eric Early.
You have to go like this. Ladies and gentlemen, on our left.
And leftist activists. With your support, we can keep holding government bureaucrats and their allies in the media accountable. Visit townhall.com.
All right, anybody have any questions for Attorney General? Come on up if you do. Run on up.
Townhall.com.
Anybody?
1 minute.
My name is Anthony
We've got 1
Tremino,
minute.
and I approve this message.
Gavin Newsom has held public office for over 25 years. Do you feel safer? Do you like what's being taught in our public schools? Is this the California you want to hand over to your kids? Anthony Tremino is not another politician. He's a businessman, father of 5, and grandson of an immigrant who fled communist Cuba to pursue the American dream.
We have a question
On
from...
June 7th, vote Anthony Tremino for governor. This
My question is, what is the first thing you do when you take office?
First thing you do when you take office. That'll be a good one. Yeah, don't answer yet.
Burning sensation in your feet and hands.
We'll
or
use that
weakness
question.
That can take away your ability to walk or even use your arms. It's a nerve issue, neuropathy.
The numbness could become so severe that the patients don't feel where their legs are, so when they walk, they tend to fall because of the lack of sensation.
That's Dr. Shulian, the Nerve MD, who treats and relieves neuropathy, especially severe neuropathy. Call 877-88-NERVE. PPO and regular Medicare accepted. Get relief. Call 877-88-NERVE.
Follow all the midterm elections and California primary information here. We are AM 870.
5 seconds.
The Answer.
You guys are good to go.
Welcome back. It is Meet the Candidates, a live special broadcast from the Richard Nixon Presidential Library.
That's right.
We've got a live crowd. I'm Jennifer Horn.
We have people from all over Southern California who've come here today. We also have...
That's Larry Marino, by the way. That was
Thank you very much. We also have 2 people on stage, one person to the right and to the left right now, and we're going to kind of have a Meet the Candidates of 2 candidates for...
It's Attorney General, and it's kind of like a speed dating back and forth, and not a debate, but we want to ask you gentlemen a couple of questions. You're both running as Republicans against the Attorney General, Rob Bonta. What do we think of Rob Bonta, room? What do we think of Nathan Hochman and Eric Early, room? All right, let's start with you. We got a question from Michelle in Garden Grove on the break, who asked the first thing that you would do in office. Nathan Hochman, let's start with you.
Sure. The first thing I would do in office is let the governor, the state legislature, and all of Californians know that there's a new boss in the House. That basically we're going to do the opposite of what Rob Bonta is doing right now. That all of a sudden we're going to partner with the police rather than treat them as our enemy. That we're going to go ahead and fund the police departments because we want better hired, trained, and supervised police officers rather than defund them. And then, and this is a common sense concept, we're going to make sure that all